What is good, everybody? I'm here with Austin.
How's it going?
And we're going to do his in the bag video today. So Austin's going to explain what he throws, when he throws them, and just to kind of explain why he has them in his bag. So without further ado, let's get into it.
How's it going, everybody? I've got the same bag Max got, the BX2 grip bag. My older brother actually got it for us for Christmas this year. Shout out to my older brother Jake. I'm just going to go through my bag, tell you what I have, why I use them, just to kind of give you an idea. I'm going to start off with my putters. I keep 2 putters in my bag. I throw PA3s. My beat-in putter, you'll see I putt with it all the time. Up shots, anytime there's wind, I'm going to throw my more stable one that hasn't been used as often. And that's why I've got both of them in the bag. And let's start with some mid-ranges. Get Freaky Zone. I like this disc because I can throw it on a backhand. It goes about 270 feet, and that's with me overpowering it. And then you've seen Max throw his touchy forehands with it. I haven't been able to throw them soft, but I can still throw them hard about the same distance. Anything you throw this way, it's going to work its way back. Anytime I put it here, it's going to work its way back. So it's kind of one of those safe discs to have in the bag. Anytime you need it, it's there. In my bag, I've got 2 mid-ranges. Halo, Lion, Buzz. My Buzz is for more straight shots. I can kind of do a little softer throw to them, and they hold their line. I mean, it's going to go straight for as long as you can put it. I find if I put too much power on it, they kind of roll. So I like it in my bag so that I can take off, go about 70% power, just be able to throw this thing flat and just let it finish just slightly left. I mean, it's just barely, it's a straight disc. That's what I use it for. Now my Lion, I like this Halo plastic. The Halo plastic, it's more sturdy. I've not even been able to gouge one yet, and you'll see here shortly. I've got a lot of them in my bag. This thing's actually pretty stable for me. I like to throw this on the hyzer line. It's always going to come back left for me. I don't really do anhyzers. I don't throw it flat. I start it on that hyzer so it holds its line so that it can dive back. I'd say 180 feet, 200 feet. I'm sure I can push it farther. I just haven't quite figured out that mid-range game because I do like to throw full power. I don't like to do touchy shots. But those are my mid-ranges in my bag. Next up, I'm going to stick to these 2. So this is a Halo Roadrunner, Halo Sidewinder. You've seen me throw this in probably a couple videos now. I really like this Sidewinder for a forehand roller. I haven't quite developed a backhand roller, but that is my overall goal with this one. But I can throw this probably about 300 feet, putting it on a line like this, letting it stand up and finishing off left. And honestly, I've been looking for a disc like that for a while. My brother Max actually picked this up for me for Christmas. And then same with this Roadrunner. I've been testing this one more than this, but the overall goal is I think this one will go a little farther. It's not quite as, if I'm not mistaken, not quite the -3 right here on this turn. I think the Roadrunner's -2, don't quote me on that. So I think this one will hold a roller longer, but I started with the more understable disc, trying to learn it before I step up to a little bit farther disc. So that's why I keep these in my bag. Next, I'll go into my fairway drivers. I'm gonna start understable first. My Leopard 3. You guys haven't seen this one in the video. This has kind of been the one I've been playing around with rounds where I'm not being taped. I can throw this thing pretty much flat. It turns over just slightly, and then right at the very end it drops down. So it's more of a turnover disc for me. I've started to play with the hyzer route and letting it flip up, but I haven't quite perfected that, so that's why you haven't seen me throw this more. So I'm hoping I can get a hold of it. You guys will start seeing it more in the video. And then my TL3. Now you've probably seen me throw this one a few times. This is my flat fairway driver. This thing doesn't go left, doesn't go right. This thing's straight all the way through. And I've started to push this one about 300 feet currently. Have not tried it on a forehand yet. All I do is backhand with this disc, but this is super reliable for those tight windows that you have to hit. And then Halo TBird 3. This thing, when I first got it, was actually pretty stable. I could throw this about 280 feet. It'd get about 240 and it would just go left. The more trees I've started to hit with this thing, it is kind of doing what my TL3 started as. It's starting to be that straight disc, and currently it's actually started turning over just slightly and then finishing back left. So it's a pretty reliable disc to have in your bag so that when you got that shot that you don't need all the power from one of your distance drivers, this you can get more than enough distance out of, and still be able to rely on it to finish back the direction you need it to. Then my Felon. I know you guys have seen this one. This is my forehand disc. Every bit of 300 feet on a forehand, flat release. It's just started to be able to release, go left, and then come back right for me. You've probably seen me throw it a few times on backhand, but anytime I need that touch shot for a forehand, this is what you see me grab. My Felon. I love this disc, and that's why it's in my bag. All right, now I'm gonna finish with my drivers here. My Halo Turn. So when I originally got this disc, I wanted an Anheuser disc. I can throw this on an Anheuser about 400 feet. Whatever line I put this on, it never comes out of it. So if you really need that sharp one and you can throw it really high, it comes down spikes. But I like to throw it on that slight ante, kick it out probably 50 feet left of where you're trying to throw to on the right, and that disc will always just travel back to it and lands pretty soft. I'm expecting this disc to kind of turn into my my hyzer flip disc. The more trees I beat with this thing, and it's taken a while. I mean, I've had this for probably most of last year. It's still no gouges on this Halo plastic. It's so sturdy. It hasn't yet started to flip up for me. I can throw this pretty flat and it still goes right a little bit. But I'm hoping sooner or later this will be my hyzer flip disc where I can get some crazy distance off of it, let it flip up and kind of finish flat. That's why I have my Turn. Halo Thunderbird. I mean, as you can see, this disc has probably only been thrown twice. It's in my bag just so I can learn it currently. Honestly, it probably shouldn't be in there because I don't throw it very often. But I'm expecting it to be kind of like my Halo TBird that you saw earlier, but just with a little more distance. And hopefully I'll be able to tell you more about it when I use it a little more. My good old trusty Shrike. I originally got this thing and I would throw this absolutely flat and it would just finish left probably 330, 340. It's starting to finally get beaten. You guys have seen this plenty of times. I throw this all the time. I have now officially been able to throw this flat, let it flip up, go right, and come back left. I would say every bit of this, I can push this thing probably 380 feet, 400 feet. But this is my most reliable disc in my bag. If I'm going to pick something out for distance and accuracy, it's going to be my Shrike. Next is going to be my Halo Wraith. If I need that 330, 340 foot shot on a backhand, this is going to be my disc. It's going to be my absolute flat. It's going to come back 50 feet to the left on its fall down. So it doesn't matter how hard I throw this, I will never turn it right. It's always going to be that flat, finished left. Just kind of that nice soft shot that you're looking for. Super reliable with this Halo plastic. No gouges, chips, scrapes, nothing. They hold up. So I do recommend one of those too. 2 discs for people that are out there. Discraft Raptor, Innova Firebird. I call these meat hooks. I mean, you can do anything you want with these. My Firebird I'll normally throw for shots that I want to break early. If I want them to come down and I'm just wanting them to go left. Shots that you're just like, oh, well, the thing just doglegs to the left really hard. That's going to be my Firebird. My Discraft Raptor, I find it more suitable for my forehand than I do my backhand like I do the Firebird. But the Raptor itself, I can get it to stand up just slightly and go left and then come back right. But both these discs, I'd say I can probably put out 325 at the max unless I really put it on some crazy S-turn. But I honestly, I'm not one of those people that throw the S-turn shots. I like to throw a disc true, just see how it flies. But these are probably my 320, 330 flights. Forehand, backhand. My Colossus. Colossus is in my bag for when I have that heavy headwind into my face. The 14.5, -1.3. So if I'm going to throw this as hard as I can, like this, into the wind, normally I can get it to drift right just a little bit, but it's always got that 3 that brings it back. It's really reliable in the wind. I can throw this thing every bit of 350 feet. This disc, I actually do use it backhand, and I do use it forehand a lot. My forehand gets a lot of power into it, so I like to know something that's going to be able to stand up and fight through everything you got into it. So that's why I keep this Colossus in my bag. That brings me to my final disc, my Halo Destroyer. The most overstable disc in my whole entire bag. I'm sure you've been on a course sooner or later where you've got to etch along a bunch of trees. This is one of those discs that I can throw like this on a forehand, and it's instantly going to come back to the right. So it's kind of nice for those touch shots where you need to go through the trees and just swerve them. You'll see lots of people throw these like this. I mean, they will instantly just come straight back down to the ground. Honestly, I use this only on a few courses. You've probably seen me throw it a couple times, but I keep it in there just for those shots where I need to play this little weave through the trees, because I know it's so overstable, it's always going to do that for me. I don't have to worry about pushing it out too far. It's going to sound crazy to say it's a destroyer. Lots of those holes that we play are probably 250 feet. I know this destroyer can weave through those trees. That's why I keep it there. A little unorthodox for a short hole to have such a massive distance driver, but for me, that's what works. So that's why I keep it in there. To give people an idea, I'd say I'm an intermediate disc golfer. I've probably played for close to 10 years now. I could throw my backhands if I can actually get into a good one. I'd say I probably could push about 425 on a good day. My mid-range games, I'm sure you've seen, that's my most struggle. I can probably throw a mid-range 225, 250, and that's on a good throw if I can keep everything together. And then my putters, if I get on a tee pad and need to drive putter, I can throw about 200, 225, maybe 230. Just on that smooth release, let it glide. I hope the video is going to help you kind of see a few discs, maybe get them, put them in your bag, just see kind of if it goes with your game or not. And if you guys have any questions about my bag or my brother's bag that you saw in the recent video, please leave it in the comments. Let us know. We will answer any questions we can, and we hope we can help. And we'll see you guys later.